Hello, we're live. Welcome to Thursday night reading sprints. Sorry for the late start. We had some slight technical issues. Our friend Sharon is hopefully going to join us in a little bit, but she is just struggling to get on right now. So we are also hopefully going to be joined by Rosie Talbot in a little while. But my lovely friend Paula is here, and our tech is working between the two of us. You can find Paula. Can't even speak. All the tech issues have just drained my brain. You can find Paula at Family and Books on Instagram and YouTube. Is that all the places?
Yeah, I do have TikTok, but with having hang on, my son's trying to talk to me. What?
Okay, I'll
what red one?
The one that's like red background, black.
I was going to pop Paula. Oh, sorry, you were right. I was going to say I don't have to mute you if you wanted to.
Oh, no, I've got a Yeti, so I can just mute it that way.
All right.
But yeah, he's just looking for a book to read.
All right. I mean, you can't. Can you? You know, you can't say come back later if you're trying to find books. That's important.
No, he was just asking me where it was, and I'm like, I don't know. Look.
This is my problem as well. I go like, I'm going to make a TikTok video about vampire books, and I look behind me and I'm like, oh no, where is
it all?
I'm working on it. My library, like one side is completely organized because my husband did it, and the other side that I'm meant to be sorting is still just complete chaos because I haven't had time to sort it out. But yeah, you were saying about TikTok. Are you kind of?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah. I don't have a regular posting schedule because I've got kids and a chronic pain condition, so I basically post when I can.
I get that as well. I'm trying to post daily at the minute just to see if it has any impact on engagement and stuff, and it does seem to, which is sort of annoying because I'm like, I don't really have time to do this, but I'm really trying because I love when social media is going well. I think it's just such a great way to connect with people and chat about books, but so frustrating trying to find the time. Let's see what Katrina has been doing. Hi, thank you for joining us. The Perfect Child. I haven't heard of that. Have you, Paula? Is that one on your radar?
No, it is not.
Sorry about the flat. So I have a couple of books that I'm hoping to read bits of, and I am planning to write as per usual. So I'll tell you what I'm reading, then we'll go to Paula, and you can tell us in the comments as well what you're reading. So I'm still reading Royal Blood. I'm meant to be reading vampire books this month, but I want to finish this one. It sounds vampire-y. It is not. It is about kind of an alternative royal family. I only have that much left, so I might try and read that tonight. And I'm also reading Wide Book Club Pip Gloss Girls, which I'm really enjoying. I nearly caught up. I've said we'll read like roughly 7 chapters at a time, and I've nearly got up to it. So I might try and finish that too. And I'm writing Mina 3, which I can now actually say is called Mina and the Cult. Thank goodness. Yay! I've been so ready to spoil it, like accidentally. It's been on the tip of my tongue because I've literally known that title since, when? 2018. So
since it became a trilogy.
Yeah. The Mina and the Thing was my agent's idea, and since then I was like, oh well, the last one will be cool, obviously, because of the things that are going to happen in it. So now I can say I'm writing Mina and the Cult. I'm about just over halfway through it now, so
I'm so excited.
Thank you. I'm at that point though of like, writing books is really hard. I am going to finish this at some point. I'm sure I am, and I'm sure it'll be good by the end, but I find first drafts really difficult because they're obviously not as good as finished books, and you read it back and think, oh, that's not as good. It's like, because I've not edited it yet. Do you write as well?
No. I think I dabbled in my teenage years, and then I was just like,
a little pause there. I heard that pause. I think there's a writer there wanting to come out.
Possibly, but yeah, I haven't really done it since my teenage years. I mean, I tried doing one like NaNoWriMo, and did some of it, and then it fell by the wayside, as things usually do. Life be life in and all that jazz.
Yeah. I tend to find that really useful, like the writing so much a day structure. I'm doing NaNoWriMo at the minute, and I'm meant to write 1,300 words a day, and I'm sort of not quite hitting the mark, but I'm hoping today I'll get it back. Yeah, I like that kind of daily thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, sorry if you can hear my son. He was like up at 4 o'clock this morning, so he's kind of like been on the go all day. So he's overtired right now. and like fight in sleep as much as possible.
I'm familiar with the overtired. We've been there as well. Mine wakes up in the night and he's so cute when he wakes up. He's like, Mummy, can we get up? Can we go downstairs? It's time for downstairs yet? And I'm like, no, it's 4 a.m. It's 1 a.m. It's whatever time. I've been there. I can't really hear anything, to be honest. I can just hear you. You must just
Okay.
Just right.
Good.
Yes. Reading in Nightfall is the decision that everyone should make. It's a Lost Boys retelling. It's really fun. It's set in a fake town called Nightfall in America that has really cool mythology and just perfect Lost Boys feel, but with female vampires instead of boys.
Still need to read it. It's on my TBR, the never-ending TBR.
Yeah, I know. It's scary, isn't it? But yeah, it's really gorgeous too. The cover's beautiful. The book is great. Oh, I've seen that around, but it has, I'm assuming, dead children in it. So I think everybody who knows my feelings about books where things happen to children, I can't do it. Do you find that since you've had children, did that change stuff for you? Because now when anything happens to a kid in a book, I'm like, nope. Do you know?
Not so much. I mean, I think initially when I was pregnant and we had like issues throughout the pregnancy, it was just like, I couldn't cope. But I've been able to compartmentalize quite a lot. I mean, if you're watching Grey's Anatomy and all those things, you really need to. But Chris, my partner, can't at all. He's just like, nope, can't do it.
See, we watched Pet Sematary. The remake came out not long before I had my little boy, and I was like, I'm so glad I watched it before, because that would just be ruined for me now. And he kind of even looks a bit like that, like little blonde boy. It's like, nope. Not for me. It's the easiest way. Give a book a title like that and I'm not going to pick it up, Katrina. I don't care how good you tell me it is. I'm sorry. Unless the title's like one of those misleading ones where something isn't actually killing children, then yay. It is fun so far.
It's good book.
And yes, so glad to be able to talk about it. There's a cult. Hi, Sasha. Thank you for joining us. Hello. Oh, Icebreaker's on my pile too. Have you read that one, Paula?
I haven't. It's on my TBR. But currently I'm doing.
We've not read it, but it's on our TBR.
It's on the TBR. I'm currently reading this one.
Ooh, I've heard things about that as well. Is it fantasy?
Urban fantasy. It's kind of like normal, and then there's like a underworld of like, well, not underworld, but otherworld kind of thing. It's the fairy loot edition, so it's got the purple edition.
That's beautiful.
So finishing this one up, really liking it so far, and then when I finished, I might read this one. Cringe. I would be starting this one, but it's upstairs. The dust jacket's here, but the book itself is upstairs.
You're a dust jacket remover. I read with the dust jacket on, and loads of people find that really weird, but I lose them if I take them off. Like, they're just gone. I don't know what I do with them, and then I can't put it back on my shelf if it's like naked. So
I'm either or, but with thicker books, I tend to take the dust jacket off.
I know what you mean. It's annoying when you start trying to use it as a bookmark and then it won't fit because the book's too chunky, but I don't tend to read chunky books that much. I can't get through it. I was hoping to do Old School April. I just haven't managed because I also pledged I was going to read all vampire books this month, so it didn't quite fit. But it looks really fun. Kelsey from Simon Slashes is doing it if anyone is interested. 80s, 90s vibes are definitely things that I want. It just didn't fit with what I was reading this month. I was sad that I didn't get it together and sort myself out for that one.
Well, you can technically say like vampire books, like, because vampires are of any age, and they've lived through that decade. So
yeah, I mean, there's a character in here who's like from the 80s.
Exactly.
So maybe I can get away with it in the month. Just say yes, I did do it.
I did.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not just me. See, Raker's on team Leave the Dust Jacket on. There's a little conversation about it on social media once, and I was like, I was really shocked how many people were like disturbed by the fact that I left the dust jacket on. Hi, thanks for joining us, Stephen.
So some people are really strange with it. Some people are like, but you must read the way I read, and it's like the thing of like people dog-earing pages. It's like, I don't do it personally, but it's your book. You do you.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm fairly chill about other people's reading stuff. I'm like, really break the spine, don't break it, do whatever. I just read the way I read, and I think it might be a good time to go to a sprint, and I'm hoping that during that time we might be able to get Sharon on to chat with us, and then Rosie Talbot should be stopping in at some point too. But otherwise, you've got me and Paula in the meantime, which is all you should need anyway. Let's just see what the last comment's saying. Yeah, I mean, that's actually probably a really good point. Maybe I just need to say, yes, I am doing it. I'm reading vampire books. And look, that kind of has some neon. Look. Yeah.
Vamps is written in neon. If you're reading Vamps.
Yes, yeah, that's on there. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll just say that lots of vampires from the 80s and 90s and neon. Thank you, Katrina. I'm going to try and get my act together and post something about it because I love Kelsey. I kind of like to try and join in with stuff that Kelsey's doing. Okay, so I'm gonna pop a 40-minute timer on. Let's do the usual 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes. It's up to you, Paul, if you want to. I know you normally stay for the full thing in the comments, but if you get tired of being
normally I am in bed, so I'm laid down.
Well,
so we'll see.
Yeah, duck in and out as you see fit. I will be here until about 10 o'clock. So yeah, let's go to a 40-minute sprint and we will see you on the other side. Let us know how you get on with our reading at the end of the sprint. Hello, everyone. You're all here. Hooray. Are you sorted, Sharon? Can you hear us okay?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
On a slight delay. But yes, we can. Excellent. Not a slight delay now. Had a few technical issues, but we're here now. And Rosie found her way to us as well.
Hi.
Thank you, you two, for joining us. So let's go around the group and we can chat about what we were doing in that sprint. I'm not sure quite how long you two managed to join in, but do you want to start off, Paula, since we were there for the full haul? What did you get done during that?
Yeah, I read 2 or so chapters of this.
Awesome. You still enjoying it?
Yeah. I'm excited to see where they're going to take it because, you know, things are happening. It's getting to that time in the story where everything is happening. So you're like, ooh.
Excellent. Is it a series?
Yes. So I'm excited and also dubious because the next one's not out yet.
So you may have a long time to wait to figure out actually what the heck is going on and have everything resolved for you. But
it's what happens as readers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I think I need to check, but I think I might have hit my word count target for the day, which I'm pleased about because I need to do some plotting in the next bit and figure out what actually happens next in the book. Hooray! Rosie knows this feeling well. Slight sensation of panic. And do we know how to write books? Do you know what are words? What is plot, etc.? Speaking of, how's it going, Rosie? Since last time I saw you, finished a thing.
The thing is finished. Well, it's finished. It is
finished. First draft. That's
well.
finished.
I'm not even going to call it draft 1. I'm going to call it draft 0 because there were significant holes of like a good third of it is just quite long. I would say 1,000-word outline of a chapter with some dialogue being like, this is what's going to happen. Here's some dialogue. But it's with my editor and I'm expecting it back any day now. So I need to read through the manuscript, which I've been doing the past couple of days to remind myself of what I actually wrote and what's missing and kind of make my own editorial notes in preparation for those editorial notes. But I'm also working on the next thing simultaneously. So I sort of have those notes up. And then I also am a little bit not supposed to be doing this, but it's happening in my brain. So I also have my little sneaky document of the next project.
See, I was thinking
I'll go.
Forward control when I heard the first part of that. I'm not convinced that the last bit's going to help you, Rosie. That
it's not,
idea.
but like my brain keeps delivering ideas, and I'm like, I don't want to keep having to write. You know, when you write down ideas in all sorts of random places, and then when you come to do the project, you're like, where did I write all those notes? So I'm just creating a folder, and I've got notes there, so that if I'm writing something else, I'm like, oh, I can just write myself for to do later little notes I don't forget. But I'm not going to actually work on it until the next 2 books are in some form of existence.
It sounds like minor chaos then. Not pure chaos, just
not pure chaos, just minor. Why are there not more hours in the day kind of chaos. And I've got, when I get my notes back, I'll have about 3 weeks to turn this book around. So it's going to be, it's going to be, I mean, you know, when you're in Danann, you're like, it's fine, it's totally fine. But I'm excited. I had a little bit of a break. I had a few days off, so I'm feeling refreshed. So yeah,
you seem very perky, so I feel like you can do this.
I've eaten an entire waffle and it had banoffee on it. Like, I know, it was good.
See, it's vibrating at low frequency right now.
I'm vibrating at banoffee frequency.
Excellent. Sharon, tell us what frequency you're vibrating on. Are you having a good evening despite the tech issues?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound a lot perfect now.
Thank you. You know, I'm a technological idiot, obviously. The laptop I tried to hook into didn't work. You just kept flashing up and I kept seeing you and I thought, oh, there they are. And then my phone wouldn't work. So now this is my husband's YouTube setup. So this is his Doctor Who and He-Man room.
That's fine.
Very
so yeah, I've just spent 3 weeks doing end of year accounts. I work in finance, so yeah, my brain is frazzled. So it's nice to see you all. It's lovely to speak to you.
Are you dreaming in spreadsheets?
I actually had a dream last night. I had a nightmare last night. I was running down a corridor with spreadsheets on legs chasing me.
Oh, that
So
is your
it's all a
subconscious
bit of a
being not
worry.
discreet there. That's like blatant. Stop doing spreadsheets, Sharon, and give me a break, please.
Do you know, I'll read some of the most horrific horror you've ever read, and I never get nightmares, but spreadsheets, they give me nightmares.
So, what horrible thing are you reading tonight, Sharon? Are you reading anything?
am
that was just
reading,
looking at it?
Hex.
Oh, I want to read that. Have you
I've
read
heard
it,
good
Rosie?
things.
Have you read it, Rosie?
I haven't, but I've got several bookseller colleagues who are after me to read it, and I think I have it on my shelf somewhere. But
It's so good. It's about
yeah,
this
I'm excited.
17th century woman who's a witch who's had her eyes and mouth sewn up, and she
Ooh.
haunts this modern day town. And they've forgotten why she's had a mouth and her eyes sewn up. And then these kids decide to go and video her and go viral, and all hell breaks loose. And
Those pesky kids.
yeah, my feminist rage will no doubt come out when we find out why she's got her eyes and her mouth sewn up.
Yeah.
It's quite good so far.
But isn't it the concept like the whole town can see her, so people just ignore her? They're like, if she's in your house and you're having lunch, you'll just like put a dishcloth over her head and keep eating.
And they just register on this like town-wide app called XHAP where she is and what she's doing. It's really random, and it's very strange, but it's very good.
Who's
I
the
love
author
it.
of that one?
I've never heard of him before. It's Thomas Oldie Huvelt, maybe.
I'm just putting it on my to read list.
I think he had a book come out fairly recently. Rosie Bookseller Brain. Does that ring a bell? Like, did I don't know. I feel like he published something
Hex
quite
has
new
been
that
out
was a
for
bit
at
different.
least 2 years now, I think. I feel
Yeah.
like
I think he published something.
COVID even. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. I think he wrote something.
Yeah,
new
it's a
last
few years
year, maybe.
old.
Yeah, I think one came out last year that he wrote as well. I don't know much about.
Yeah, he's written more. Yeah.
Stephen King thinks it's brilliantly original, so I'm not going to argue with the king. You know what I mean?
I feel like he's done one with ice on the cover.
Okay,
I could be making that up.
I think he's written something quite speculative recently as well, but I can't remember. This certainly Hex is the one that sounds the most up my street, up all of our streets, really. I think fairly much.
He did November in 2022. That was published in 22. Oracle 2021. Echo 2019.
Oh, it might have been Echo I was thinking.
Oh, I think Echo's the wintry one, isn't it? Like snow on the cover or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it looks good.
Possibly. I like the sound of that one you got recently, Rosie. That Yeti book. Was it Yeti?
Oh yeah, Patricia Likes to Cuddle.
I love that title.
I just love the title.
What was it again?
It's called Patricia Likes to Cuddle, and it's pitched as like the queer horror comedy with yetis you didn't know you needed, and it's structured around The Bachelor as a concept. So I think the book is in the final round of this Bachelor program, and the final 4 contestants are taken to this island with the Bachelor himself, and like they're filming the show, and then something obviously goes wrong and there's a yeti somewhere. I don't know, but I was just so intrigued by the pitch that I was like, yeah, I want a copy. Of course I want a copy.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I need to order that. It sounds so good. Everything you were saying, I was just nodding my head like, yes, please.
The title is Patricia Likes to Cuddle. I hope Patricia is the Yeti.
Yeah, so do I. I really do.
I
I hope she wants to cuddle the Bachelor and like carry him away on her back or something.
Yeah, it's
like Legends and Lattes meets reality TV.
Yeah.
But also horror.
Yeah.
What's it called? Dale and Tucker versus the
versus Evil. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so good. If anybody hasn't watched it, it is these 2 really, really nice guys who look like the kind of redneck murderers in horror films, and they keep trying to help the like kids in the horror film and like either accidentally killing people or making themselves look like murderers. It's genius. I need to rewatch it actually, as I'm even saying it. It's so fun and silly. As you were talking, it just reminded me of that somehow, like that kind of meta.
That's the
awareness
vibe I'm looking for, like a kind of self-aware type story. Yeah, we'll see. I will
love Alan Tudyk though.
I'm going to order off the back of that. It just sounds so good, doesn't it? Let's see what the people in the comments are saying, and then maybe we can do another sprint. Hi, thank you for joining us. Kev kindly jumped on and found. So if you want to subscribe to Paula's channel. That is it right there. And I do subscribe. I checked. I do
Oh,
subscribe.
okay.
I'm just really bad at watching things that I subscribe to.
Mm.
Hi. Ooh, Seven Faceless Saints. Sound interesting.
That sounds good.
Oh, yeah. I've heard other good things about Only a Monster. I'm glad that everybody seems to enjoy it. Yes. I thought you might have read that, Kasha. Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree. Like, give me horror movies all day versus spreadsheets all day. I probably would go for the horror movies. Echo's the new one. He's Dutch as Winter Thriller. Awesome.
Oh, so it is the winter one, yeah.
Kasha knows. Yes. Hi, Charlie. Yes, we have a screen full of faces for you to say hi to today. We all know Charlie in some way or another. So yeah, if you want your horror recs, your fantasy recs, you've got Kasha for horror, Charlie for fantasy, Rosie for bookseller knowledge, and Paula and Sharon know lots of things too. So please hit us up if you want. If you want to know, Sharon will tell you something that will give you nightmares if you wish. Like, I keep saying, Sharon, should I read this one? And she's like, no. No. Tenders the Flesh. Well, I like that, Sharon. No. Don't read the cannibal book.
I mean, you don't want to read it, honestly. I mean, it's visceral and horrific, obviously, but it is deeply, deeply disturbing. I mean, it's a good job I'm already deeply disturbed. But the ending is, the ending is catastrophic. It's so good. But there are children in it, which is the reason why I didn't think.
Thank you for the heads up. I don't know. I mean, there's visceral, and then there's like viscera, and
there's both. To be fair,
yeah, I'm not sure I can manage a cannibal book. I think I mentioned before I watched a cannibal film by mistake because Jason Momoa's in it, and that was kind of bad enough. But yeah, I don't think I could cope with it in a book. I think it messed my head too much. Okay, let's head to another sprint. So let us know in the meantime if anybody wants a recommendation. Oh, Katrina's here. Ooh, Spooksville is such a good name. I need to read more Christopher Pike. I think I've read hardly any. I missed him back in the day somehow in the 90s, so I need to kind of remedy that. I've got all my point horrors. Maybe, Kev, that's the next thing we need to collect, Christopher Pike books. Kev's good at kind of hopping on eBay and Facebook and finding bargains. If I just plant the seed, hopefully they'll start arriving at my house.
I'm completely addicted to point horror now. I keep collecting them. You've completely corrupted me, you and Shelley.
I'm really sorry. We just tag teamed you there, didn't we? You had no chance at all. We just waited.
I had a decent collection back when I was a kid, but then like with moving places, it's like I just left a lot of them. So
yeah. I asked my dad what happened to them, and he was like, "Do you want to know the true answer to that?" I was like, "Okay, they've gone, haven't they?" He was like, "Yes, they have."
I was having far too much being an adult, far too much fun being an adult and traveling. So I think I'm quite a bit older than you are. So, you know, I was a kid in the 70s. So, so it's I love them. I love them.
Yeah.
You can read them in a couple of hours. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I like that if you want something to just escape in one evening, you're done, aren't you? And they're so varied. Like if you're like, want Deadly Twins, there'll be a Deadly Twin book for you. Or want vampires, werewolves, like whatever. You can find a point horror that fits the bill. They're very, very good. And yeah, Christopher Pike as well. I need to jump into that one. I don't think he wrote point horrors, but he wrote a similar style at a similar time. And some pretty popular vampire ones, and so he wrote the Midnight Club that was on Netflix recently. Midnight Club. I get all the Midnight ones mixed up.
Yeah,
was it good?
I thought it was okay, really. I think it could have been less episodes, and because the book's quite small, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it's 10 episodes, but yeah, I think he did quite a good job of the book. I think
I just watched like 1 or 2 episodes. I didn't really.
I missed the middle 3 because I got bored. So I watched the first few and the last few, and that was basically it.
It sounded too sad to me because aren't they in like a hospital or like they're all together because they've all got terminal diseases?
They're all terminally ill. It's actually, I think it's quite positive in a lot of ways. There's a bit of horror in there. And I thought it was really good. I thought they all did a good. The actors were great.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. It doesn't sound happy enough for me. I like some happiness in my horror, if that's possible. fun, cheerful murder.
I
Not
like
sad.
horror, but horror light.
Yeah, that's me all over. Like fantasy, but make it cozy. Horror, but make it fun and silly. Like I don't think I can cope with hardcore anything at this point. Hardcore romance too much. Like
High fantasy too much.
Oh, Charlie's excited to see you, Sharon, and he. Wow.
Hello, Charlie. I love Charlie.
Amazing.
She was one of the first
Yes.
people I ever followed on Book Talk. She's just
Aw.
the most joyful person.
She is like a ball of sunshine.
She's just a beautiful soul.
Yeah, she is. She's wonderful. And Daisy Jones and the Six. Anybody watched it? I am watching it.
I've read it and I've watched like the first set that was released. The first like what four episodes or so.
Okay.
But yeah, liking it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Not quite sure where it's going to go. Yes, I mean,
Me too, Kasha.
between Kasha and Sharon, if you would like to be horribly disturbed by your books, then let us know in the comments. I think we'll go to. It'll be interesting to see if we get any of these people asking for maybe you shouldn't tell us who you want to recommend the book. Say I would like something that will destroy your soul, and like Sharon can jump in and say, yeah, me. I want something light and non-threatening.
Well, not me personally.
Yeah,
I mean,
you could try. I don't know, like what you do on your evening show. Do some disturbing. Yes, Sharon is lovely. You need to follow Sharon on TikTok as well. Sharon's like does these your reviews are really soothing. I feel like I can just sit and like go while you're reviewing a book. Like you just like really nicely, gently talk us through what you thought about it. And then of course, Rosie, if you want to see that, was that?
I've been asked to record an audio book for an indie author. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? So, yeah.
Well, in my last video, it was like for the Aurelium TBR. I don't know if anyone knows like Aurelium, the magical readathon that G from the Book Rust does. She does that like every year, and basically I turned myself into like this fey character that is like doing this readathon, and on Discord someone said like my put on voice for the readathon was so soothing. It's like you should do an ASMR channel. I'm like, no. I was there editing it back, just cringing at myself. I'm like, I can't believe I'm going to put this in the world, but okay.
We'll do sleepy videos. That's what we should do. Sleepy videos. Send people to sleep.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't take much for me, I don't think. Like, just give me a dark room and I'd be gone probably at the moment. Yeah, and Rosie, I mean, it goes without saying that Rosie is an exceptional TikToker too. If you need like enormous pockets and beautiful shells and Rosie's beautiful accent and lots of excellent recommendations, then I'm sure you probably all already follow. I think everybody follows you at this point, Rosie. Like, I try and recommend your child to people, and they're like, "We know you don't have to tell us, Rosie."
You should definitely do audiobooks, Rosie. You have the most beautiful voice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. I don't have very much variation. I can't do other accents, and so it would just be Emma Watson reading a book.
Yeah, you could just do like a really beautiful niche though. Like, I think you could do audiobooks of like you could read like Lex Crouch's audiobooks or something like that.
Mm.
And just make them sound like delightful and I don't what area I don't even know. What's that, sorry?
I'd love to hear you read Sherlock Holmes.
Oh yeah.
That Victorian kind of Edwardian time.
I don't think I have read Sherlock Holmes. But yes, I could give that a go.
You need to do that on a TikTok, Rosie. There you go. There's some content for you.
Just reading little
just read chapters of Jane Austen. That'll do.
My dad, he's obsessed with two things: trains and Jane Austen.
Oh, right.
There you go.
So like he will just sort of make a Jane Austen like statement. He'll just be in the kitchen or something will happen. He'll be like, "Oh, Mr. Bennet, we are saved." And then before he retired, I remember he would like quote Jane Austen in quote form in business emails, and he works in the music industry, and nobody got it. Like nobody understood because only he is obsessed.
Like, we would get it. We would get it.
Not even the books. Just he watches all the BBC adaptations on repeat.
Same. I love them. I like my period dramas.
Yeah.
So
he loves his period dramas, but he needs them to be very romantic rather than sexy. I tried him on Bridgerton and he was like, no, it's too modern. He wants it to be
Mm.
romantic. He wants there to be pining. And I was like, season 2 of Bridgerton? Are you kidding me? It's all pining. But yeah, so I'm
Maybe
working
I
on
might read the. Maybe I might like the book better. Maybe I've not read
No,
the
he
books, but it may
doesn't.
be maybe more of a slow burn in the book.
I tried him on the books, but he finds the language and the style that they're written in too slow for him. So
Okay.
yeah,
No
unfortunately.
corset ripping. That's what he doesn't want. He doesn't want the corset ripping.
No.
I
No,
find that tedious too.
but he did love Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. So
That was great. I loved that.
I didn't like it. I was just.
Oh, I
I was
like
pretty.
anything
I was
with
pretty
me.
bored through it. To be fair, I was like,
yeah, he didn't read the book, but he watched the movie,
mm.
and he just was like, "This is really silly," and he watched the whole thing, which I was like, "Yeah."
Nice.
And Lost in Austin. Has anyone ever seen that?
I love Lost in
Yeah, he
Lost
loves
in
Lost in
Austin.
Austin.
No,
It's
I haven't seen
hilarious.
that. As you watch Austenland, I like that one. Like an
Mhm.
American girl saves
Oh,
up and goes to
no.
stay. Oh, it's
I
so
think I might
fun.
need to track that one down for him.
Yeah,
I'm coming
do.
out for things to gift him for Christmas, so ideas are always welcome.
Yes.
Jennifer, I think Jennifer Coolidge is in that one as well. But
Yes, she is. Oh, she's so funny. It's really
Kerry Russell plays the main
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. It's great.
It's good.
It's very heartwarming, and it's got that kind of like they do like kind of period drama dress up, so it's got the feel of that sort of thing, and it's mostly quite innocent. There is a little bit of bodice ripping, I think. But
Okay, I think I might have dreamed this up, and this isn't a thing. But I feel like I think I watched this, and this was a thing years ago. It was a reality TV show. In my head, I think there was a reality TV show where contestants could win money, and it was kind of like a cosplay / I think it was Regency based on Austin, maybe. And a number of contestants went to a house and were given rooms, and they were being filmed, and they knew they were being filmed, and there were all these different tasks, and they had to interact and sort of play being in the Regency era. And they were being whittled down, but they didn't know who was judging them. They knew they were being filmed, so they presumed there was a judges off scene, and it turned out the judges were the staff. So like the people who were serving them were actually the judges. And I remember one of the ladies wasn't popular with the judges because she was too modern in her sensibilities. So she would wear something once and put it straight in the laundry rather than airing it out. And they were like, well, that is very wasteful. And like, you know, so they were kind of, judging them on their ability to fit into the era a little bit. But you know, when something was so long ago, you honestly don't know whether you made it up or whether it actually was a show.
Well, if it wasn't a show, I want it to be a show.
Yeah, and it was a reality TV show, and I'm just trying to remember what it might have even been called to track it down. Like,
Throw a murder in, it'd be a great book.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking.
Yeah, so if that rings a bell to anyone.
Yeah, it needs a little bit of strife, like some plot conflicts, and then you've got a book. So
I'm gonna have to do some major googling later and see.
Yeah, I think maybe I can't remember what the aim was, like whether it was to find love in this kind of fake Jane Austen world,
or just to win the money.
It was either like Jane Austen or Victorian, but I think it was more Regency because I think that was like a thing. Yeah. So if anyone wants to find out for me what that is, because I can't find it.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to know. Please, in the comments, somebody do a deep dive for us. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. And if I made it up, sorry, everyone. I don't think I did.
Your punishment, Rosie, is if it doesn't exist, you have to write the book of it, okay? So
facts.
Add some ghosts and some, like, you know.
It's not like you've got anything else to do. Just throw that one in as well.
Add in a murder.
You're doing a couple of books. Just another one.
Yeah. It's not like I've got like 4 things.
That's it.
Fine. Add something else.
No. Yeah, just add it to the list. All be good. Right. Let's go and do a sprint. And Charlie's written lots of lovely things about us in the comments, so we'll come back to that. Oh my goodness, the Regency house party, Caroline has just said. So please.
That could be it. That could be it.
That's your homework, Rosie. Check in the next sprint whether that's true. And if it is, we all need to try and find a place to watch it. If that's right, Caroline, you are a genius.
That might be it, yeah.
I'm totally grateful. That sounds so good.
Yeah, that looks like
it.
It
sound amazing.
Awesome. Okay, going to find a place to watch that. So let's all go and pretend that we're sprinting, but actually find out where we can watch this TV show.
Where we can watch Regency House Party.
And we will see you in 40 minutes. Hello, everyone. Hope the kitty didn't get you too much. I'm just going to mute everybody. So, how did this thing go? I can't believe that was only 40 minutes. I feel like I had one of those rare moments where I got absolutely loads done and I felt quite productive. So I might even read in the last one. I'm going to pick up my book. So I'm excited. I feel quite pumped after that one, despite how tired I am. It was a good one. What about you, Rosie? Did you get much done in that?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm just reading through my manuscript, doing little edits as I go, and making a bunch of notes, and yeah, trying not to be like, oh god, I sent this to my editor. Oh yeah.
All will be fine. I'm sure she is very much used to getting stories in various states of incomplete. They're not going to get the perfect book, are they?
No, I like have whole sentences that just stop. Like, I didn't finish my thought apparently, so. But yeah, I got some done. I'm very, very tired. I might have to duck out soon, or it'll be me napping.
Go for it.
Did she work, or did your editor work with you on 16 Souls?
No. 16 Souls was going to be self-published.
Okay.
And then it was picked up by Scholastic last minute. So this is my first time working with Yaz, which is probably why I'm a bit nervous, because I'm like, I can do it. Look, I should.
Okay.
She's been very gracious and very kind.
Okay.
She's brilliant. She's working on the anthology with us as well. And yeah, it's been lovely to see like her thoughts on the stories, and like the things she teases out are really good. So yeah, I'm sure you'll find it really useful. And now that you're doing your own thought process, so at least you can put the two together and hopefully.
Yeah, I just wanted to read through it once before I got the notes, so I have my own notes to compare.
Yeah. Sounds very sensible. Yeah. How about you, Paula? Did you have a good session? Read some more of your book?
I did read some more of my book, another couple of chapters. I made some tea.
Excellent.
All good things.
Yeah, tea and books all sounds good in the world. How about you, Sharon?
I read about 70 pages.
Nice.
That's quite slow for me, really. But then, yeah, I'm getting distracted because the cat's screaming outside the door because I won't let her in. And yeah, I had to pop off briefly to clean up cat sick, but you know, that's what we do, isn't it? So
I feel like Paula and I can like relate to this on the having young children level, and then you and Rosie are like, yes, cats do the exact same things as children.
I swear young children are like cats anyway.
They are. I'm sure I've told the story before how I was just about to do my first ever streamed event during COVID, so I couldn't do real life events. Did an event with my agent and another author, and my toddler came in and threw up on my laptop, and I was like, oh. So being an author, I'm so excited, and he comes in and pukes. So yeah.
One of my stepsons threw up in my mouth when he was a toddler. And my husband's got two sons from his previous marriage, but they're both adults now. But of course, I've known them since they were little. But yeah, he actually threw up straight in my mouth. That was fun.
See, Wyatt's never vomited on me. I mean, I've been hit with pee and poo, but yeah, never vomit. Luckily, he always seems to vomit on Chris, even now. From when he was a baby to now.
I get it all.
He always vomits on Chris. So, we must just like him to vomit.
It's a compliment, right? Because they come into you in your moment of I don't feel very well, or I need to have some kind of function. And,
well, the thing is, it's like the last bout of sickness that he had been cuddled on me, and then I needed to get up to go to the toilet, and like, you know, as soon as I'd reached the bathroom, Chris was like, I was like, dodge that bullet.
Small people, small animals, they give us much joy, but much heartache as well.
Much cleaning, much laundry.
Yes. Charlie has a question for you, Sharon. Have you read Hell Followed With Us? Charlie's trying to get me to read this as well. I'm probably going to this point.
I haven't yet, but I prefer, I'm not sure about other people, it might be controversial, but I prefer paperbacks to hardbacks. I find I've got chronic illness, so I find holding open a hardback quite difficult. So at the moment it's only out in hardback, but I've already pre-ordered the paperback, which is out later in the year.
Do you use the e-reader at all? Or
I love my Kindle. Yeah, I think I look at my bookshelves and I think, I've only got about 120 physical books, and then I realise I've got 500 on my Kindle, and then I realise I probably should stop buying.
Never.
We know
I mean, it never gets beyond the thought, does it? The vague, maybe I've got enough. No.
No.
I've got like 15 pre-orders already this year.
Yeah.
So
I don't keep track of my
the
pre-orders.
anthology. I'm looking forward to the anthology.
Yay, me too. Oh, everybody, Rosie's story is so good. Can I just
Aw,
say for the record, please? Just before Rosie goes, it's so good. I only got to read them recently because I've kind of read the pictures. And then as the stories came in, I was reading them. And as Rosie's came in, I was reading it. And I like, why did I do this to myself? Why did I go outside? And I'm about to go and dream. You put all these ideas into my head. It's very, very good.
Oh, I
I'm
love a
looking
short
for-
story
thank you.
collection.
I'm so glad. I'm looking forward to reading the rest because I've read a few, but I haven't read everybody. So
Yeah, it's going to be really fun because they're so
And then
like
there's
everybody's
the
just got.
lowly plebeians that haven't read anything, and we're just
know.
like, stop talking about it. We want it.
I
We want it
know.
already.
We're just making you want it. Like anybody's not
Tormenting.
ordered it, you know.
We already want it.
Tormenting us.
Excellent, thank you all. Oh yeah, we read that. Yes, I don't know whose voice. I'm assuming Rosie possibly is the con. Maybe Sharon. I mean, at this point, yes, Rosie
both
is.
love
What a Rosie love. Rosie's going to go off to bed now. Like, oh, Charlie's in a
I
soft
come
mood.
here. I feel so loved. I know. It's great.
Oh yeah, we need to. Did anybody look into that? I instantly forgot. Does it sound like we have?
Yeah,
a
it
winner
looks
badge?
like it. It's like a load of people outside a big stately home, all dressed in Regency.
I feel like I
with-
would recognize it. Really.
Yeah,
I looked it up on IMDb, so when we're done with sprints, I'm gonna go like search somewhere to find it.
Let us know if you find a place for it. Hi, thank you for joining us. I love reading outside my comfort zone. I've started doing a YA book club this year. And it's been great when other people pick the books for us. And I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have normally picked that up. I'm going to give that a go. Oh, that's a good first
he loves
impression.
you.
On my first teaching practice, a child stood up and puked at my feet. And I was like, is this going to be representative of my entire teaching career? And yes, it was.
Yeah.
I didn't ever get sicked on by a child that I taught, but peripheral to sick on many occasions. Oh, no, Charlie, no. Sorry, anybody who's squeamish. We're just going all with the bodily fluids today. Ah, Kindle Scribe sounds interesting. Is that the one that you can write onto it too? Oh, no. I love my Kindle, but I'm already starting to feel swayed by the word scribe. I'm like,
Hi, Mika.
Thank you for joining us.
I think it's nice if you annotate a lot. You know, the scribe one's good if you do a lot of annotation. I rarely annotate books, but if you do, I think it's really a good format for Kindle then.
Can you write, like, does it have its own, like, you could write on a blank page on it as well? Or is it more?
I think so.
I think I might want one. Okay, I'm going to resist. I've got too many pieces of kit as it is.
Well, I've got two Kindles. I've got a Kindle Fire, which is so slow, and then Kindle, like just before they started doing like the Paperwhite, but it was like the e-ink and everything. So I'm looking into getting into another Kindle. I'm looking into buying another Kindle, and I was like, do I get a Kindle or do I get a Kobo?
Mine's a Kindle Oasis, and you turn it, and it I end up reading one-handed quite a lot.
It's got the
And
buttons.
it's one of those, yeah, it has buttons, which is amazing, and you can turn it upside down and like press the button with your other hand. So when you've got like toddler underarm, you can be like, oh, I'm reading with my other hand. Oh,
yeah, it was that. It's like Kindle Oasis or Kobo Libra 2, and they're basically the same design.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think I'm leaning more towards the Oasis just because Kobo doesn't support all the Kindle books.
Okay.
And I've got like 200 plus.
Yeah,
Kindle
I do like
books.
mine. That sounds like you probably need to stick with it. It's like Apple, you end up tied in forever, don't you?
Same, yeah.
I do love the Kindle deals. Yeah, Kindle deals are really good, you know. I'm on Kindle apps on every piece on my phone, on my iPad, on my work laptop, so that I can always read at any point.
Yeah, it's very tempting. I don't have it on my work computer because I feel like I'd end up like, I'm just going to pop on for a minute, and then the next thing you know, like, day has gone. It is getting late, so if any of you want to duck out, please feel free to just quietly go away or go away. Or just,
I am gonna have to go.
Oh, night, Rosie. We're going to look at Rosie. You're like, I've done with you now.
Thank you for a very productive sprint. It's good.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm going
Looking
to try
forward
and
to the new book, Rosie.
Yes,
Yes.
we are. Well, let me know if you want to do any more because I'm going to be trying to squeeze in some extra ones, I think, over the coming weeks because I could do with finishing whole book in the next like 3 or 4 weeks. So
I will be editing frantically for the next 3 weeks. If you want to join me, yes, I will be there.
okay, cool. Night, Rosie.
Bye.
Bye.
We're going to go to 30 minutes for everybody else who's still here. So yeah, feel free if anybody wants to duck out. I'll just change the timer and we will see you on the other side. Anybody who's still with us.
I need a cup of tea.
Hello, everyone. I disappeared at the start of that. I didn't even get a chance to put the kids down on my little boy. So he's still ran upstairs. So I had a slightly broken start to it, but he went back down, and I managed to get up to date in Lost Girl. So the YA Book Club pick this month, I've now read the first 7 chapters, which is good, and I'm reading Royal Blood now, which I'm probably going to finish like maybe tomorrow, then I can get stuck into more vampire books. So how did you get on, Sharon? Did you have a good sprint?
Yeah, I'm up to about a third of a way through.
Nice. Still enjoying it?
It's really good. Yeah, really good.
I really need to read it. I think I bought it in a Kindle deal like years ago. I'm pretty sure it's on my Kindle somewhere. So yeah, I definitely need to read that soon. You've convinced me.
I got
So
this
have you-
second hand from World of Books.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I do like World of Books.
It's hit and miss, isn't it? I've had a couple of really bad ones, but this was brand new.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really good.
Have you ever tried Abe books?
Yeah, I use that sometimes as well.
ABE. Abe.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have a look.
Yeah, they are good. I got one recently. I don't know if it's from there or either World of Books maybe. And along the top of the book, it had the library's name like stamped on it, which was really weird. It was in really nice condition, but just when you turn the book over, you're like, oh, random library.
Yeah. Well, I managed to. I put in a random order of things that I've been wanting to read, and older books, and I don't mind buying secondhand books.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a Fairy Loot edition of Nocturna. So I
Oh,
was
wow.
quite surprised at that. I was like, okay then, win.
That was really good. So can you search by stuff like that, or did that just turn up and it was a Fairy Loot one? Like, was it called a Fairy Loot one when you bought it?
No, I think you can search for those terms.
Yeah.
I think you don't have to do like an advanced search, but I think it's just what bookstores, because it's basically kind of like World of Books, and it just like encompasses all of bookstores.
Yeah, that's
So.
really cool.
I love secondhand books because, especially if you buy them from somebody else, like not from those, but from like another person, because they often come with things shoved in them. There's like little tickets. I've had photographs. I've had all sorts of weird and wonderful things in secondhand books, and it just means they've lived a little. And I really like that.
I think I've had a receipt and I've had a shopping list.
I had like a note written by a child once about how much they loved a football team that was really cute, and like it said like I love it. I think it might have been Arsenal at the top, and then like lists of players that they liked and stuff underneath. I did feel sad though. I was like, what if they really wanted that little thing that they'd written, and it's like,
well, I know that I used to write when I had my Point Horror collection back when I was a wee young'un. I did used to write like, you know, my name in the books, and it was like, you know, property of like, you know, my name and all the rest of it, and just be like, this is my favorite, and like whoever I had a crush on at the time, like, you know, I heart Seth Green, you know. That I was getting a bit older, but yeah, you know, things like that.
I found a garter once. I think that was the weirdest thing. A blue garter. I'm assuming it was from somebody's wedding. I mean, I don't know really, but yeah, the last thing I got was a letter from somebody's letter to a clinic. Yeah.
I mean, nice to receive them, but imagine all the times you've put a book in a charity shop bag. Like, what have you left in them? That's why I worry about.
Yeah, that's true.
What am I sent out into the world?
I always give it a little. Is there anything in there? No.
I don't think I do. I think I just shove stuff in bags. So yeah, if you ever get a book that was mine in the charity shop bag, I don't have anything in it, because I'm terrible as well for using really weird stuff for bookmarks. So I am that person who would give you some kind of receipt or letter, probably.
Imagine like, you know, your wedding night being that bad that you end up using your garter as
That's how boring it was, obviously. But yeah, I've got masses of bookmarks, and I just shove anything in my book. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I've got beautiful ones. I'm using this one at the minute, which is the Strange Dream one.
Yeah.
But my son wandered off with like the receipt that I'd got in it, so I went to grab a bookmark instead of the crappy receipt. I was like, this is like the wrong way around, surely.
Well, I've got 2 bookmarks next to me. I've got like a metal one and then like random Fairy Loot one. And no, I'm using like one of the things that came with the book, like fairy loot, like, you know,
Yeah,
books in the box. Yeah.
of course you are.
I'm using the bookmark was for the last YA book club one, you know, the 1 in a Million.
Oh, cool.
That's quite cool, really. I was very excited about your news about Mina this week as well, Amy.
Yay, thank you.
I mean, I love vampires and I love cults, so it's perfect, isn't it, really?
It was, I was mentioning before you came on, it was always going to be that from when I first pitched it to my agent in 2018. It didn't have a name then, and she came up with the stem of Mina Answer, but it was always going to be first book Mina, second book Slayers, and then third book Cult. It just, I just knew in my head. I kind of thought of it as I was talking to her. Actually, I was like, yeah, this is where I want this to go. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm finding it hard to write. I always do. I forget how hard drafting is until I go back into it. And I'm like, drafting is really difficult. Is it ever going to get any easier? And so far for me, no.
It's difficult as well, because your first book, you usually have lots of time, don't you? So you can fiddle about with it. But then after it's picked up, then you have time, you know, timelines to work in, and that's always going to be harder.
Yeah, it is. And I think you have expectations as well, because you know that people like specific things. So I'm trying to second guess what other people liked. But I try and do that, but also I try and think ultimately, what do I want this book to have in it, and what do I want it to be? And all the editorial notes I'm making for myself at the minute, like stuff I'll fix, is stuff I want to see more of. So I'm like, you know, more Jared, more kissing is what I keep.
Well, I think as an author, you need to write the book that you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
And I think it is difficult with you being a reader as well. I think all authors are readers in some aspects, but I also think it must be kind of really difficult because you can like see like how other people have crafted worlds and things, and you're just like, jealous.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be that, but like you want to be your own and have your own voice, but you know,
yeah, there is that.
It's got to be difficult.
There's the being in the book community too. So I'm scrolling and I see a picture of my book, or I see it come up on TikTok, and I'm like, oh, do I dare watch this? Because if somebody's not it's going to be terrible. And I always do watch them, and I always look, and I'm just a complete sucker for that. And usually it's fine. You know, I've never really stumbled across anything awful. But yeah, it is weird. The bookseller asked me to write an article about that actually, which I thought was a bit of a random subject. But then when I delved into it, I was like, oh, actually, there is a lot to unpick here, because you can end up shooting yourself in the foot so badly on social media as an author. Like, people's careers have crashed and burned, and yet I'm putting myself into that space all the time and talking about my own books and other people's. But I kind of think, you know, if I make a misstep, hopefully I would be gracious about it and apologetic. So I just kind of try and keep being authentic and doing what I've always been doing as a blogger, because I was a blogger first. So I've just tried to carry on in that mindset. But anyway, I can feel myself rambling. It's getting to that time of the night, so I'm going to go through the comments, and I can hear a little boy squawking upstairs as well. Bless him, his daddy's with him, but it sounds like he's not quite doing the trick. Sometimes only a mummy will do. Charlie, is a need for hardbacks. I tend to be okay until I sort of, the strength suddenly goes in your arms and then hit the face.
Well, I keep resting this one on the table with the desk in front of me, like.
Yeah, I am really. I'm so tempted by the idea of this. To be fair, I've not really thought about doing it on an iPad. Yeah, and I do read my books. Like at final editing stages, I read them on my small Kindles. Having a big one to scribe all over. Yes, Only Monster.
It is so good.
Well done. Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie
good distinction, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie keeps saying that. I love cults. Wait, actually, no. I'm very interested in cults.
It's like I like documentaries of, like, you know, serial killers and things like that, and all the rest of it, and like watching Criminal Minds and all, like, you know, the murdery shows. And it's just like,
it's so interesting, isn't it? The mindset of, I think, thinking about serial killers, the idea that there are people who want other people to not exist anymore, and then there are cults that, like, there's a leader who is trying to manipulate and control and completely strip away the identity of somebody. I think that darker side of humanity I'm really interested in, but I'm also exploring it in a YA book, so I've got to be really careful, like, how deep I go. So it's like, it's got to be a serial killer, but it's got to be a kind of slightly controlled version. And like the cult thing, I can't obviously kind of go to having sex with everyone in your cult sort of level. It's got to be still YA palatable.
I do
One day I'll
find
write
it.
another book,
I
but-
studied criminal psychology, so I specialised in
Okay.
serial killers and cults.
Yeah, I do find
Okay.
it amusing that most, like, you know, cult leaders
It's a real
cult leaders are
passion thing.
male.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that like it's interesting looking at pictures of them as well, and like sometimes you can see the real presence and you're like, I can see how they drew somebody in, and then others you look and you're like, you see them talk and you just can't see it. Like, where did like that Nixium one recently I found so bizarre that he managed to convince all these really strong, kind of powerful women who you'd think would be quite secure, and obviously, you know, how people appear isn't necessarily how they are, and he just profiled them and picked people out that he thought would kind of fit into what he wanted. I can hear a little boy getting more and more cross upstairs, so I think I'm going to have to sign off there.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, you two, for coming on for the first time. I hope you'll come back. Even despite tech issues, Sharon, I hope I didn't put you on StreamYard for life, your first experience of it.
No, it's fine. I should have checked it beforehand, but it just went, and I just sat there and went, oh.
You just don't. The thing is with tech, when it isn't working, you're like, there is no recourse, is there? Like sometimes it's just that's it. You just need a new setup. But
it
yeah,
seems to work in here. This is my husband's YouTube setup, so it seems to work in here, so that's fine.
Okay, right. I'm going to go and rescue Daddy and little boy. So I'm going to sign off, everyone. But hopefully, I'll see you next week, and I'll see you two again soon.
Take care.
And
Bye.
bye, everyone. Bye.